I didn't see it. What was it?
Golden Skull celebration. Bloody weird.
But when I saw him do it, I said, I need to get this bloke in my team. But I did show my girlfriend that celebration. She goes, it'd probably look cooler if Errol did it. So
Because I kind of wish I had Fisher in my team still. This year I have a strategy, and I'll tell you my strategy now, and it's pretty simple. And it was just, he is taking all the kick-ins, basically. Only 2 kick-ins he didn't take. He's just pissing out points. G'day, lads. Welcome back to the One-Eyed Pod. We're back.
We're back again.
We're back again. Is it the same day? Who knows?
Probably. Michael's drinking beers and I'm in the same t-shirt, so
still the same shit every week. Will's going to take the lead on this podcast, guys. We're just going to, I don't actually know what we're going to talk about. What are we going to talk about today, Will?
I mean, we'll go through the week of SuperCoach and a bit of a sort of, we're changing it up. We sort of thought maybe we'd break it up. You know, we'd show our teams, but I feel like it gets lost in translation, and we actually don't really talk about the important topics, which maybe people would want. Okay, now, the scores of the week, I know you already said it before, Mikey, but how did you go? 1,000.
I went 1995, so I was 5 points off the 2. Yeah.
And I went 1977. Overall, I think we're middle of the pack right now, and I think it is really, the guns and rookies sort of the strategies that we have. I feel like most people that have popped off are mostly on that guns and rookies sort of play style. Because I know one of our mates in our league, he has bugger all mid prices, and I think we could just start on. The underperforming ones like Nick Martin. I know we both own Nick Martin, but what do you think?
Before we jump into Nick Martin, can I talk about ranking like you just said before?
Yep.
I'm 34,125, so 34,125. I don't think this is a bad rank at all. If you're like in this middle of the pack range, like the 34 area, 34, 40, 50, like I wouldn't get concerned at all. Like I know last year I started at 80,000 and by round 5, I was in the top 1%, ranked 700th or something, 900th. So
I think I was the same. I was the same last year.
It can change really, really, really quickly. And as the rounds go on, it kind of just evens itself out a little bit. And even the guy who won last year, the 50K, he started around the 40,000 mark as well. And then within like the first, I think 4 or 5 rounds as well, he launched into the top 1%. And all he did was just making normal trades. I had to look back. It was just normal stuff. So don't get too concerned if you guys are around the same mark that we're in. Just stick to your guns. If your team's playing well, just stick to that, because at the moment it can get a little bit out of hand with people having rogue picks that just go off,
Yeah, and that's the thing. The big boys are performing at the moment. I mean, and if you had a Butters, if you had a Sarong, even Luke Ryan, he popped off. And there's probably a couple that I'm not thinking about, but those type of scores, even just a lazy C option on them, like, could you imagine just those people? And I told you to do it, you just didn't do it. But Butters captain.
Mate, I told you midweek, I was like, I want to do Butters. And then you were like, oh, I'm going to go Bont. And then I was like, oh, I might go Bont as well. And then I was like, oh,
well, that's because that's because I didn't have Butters in my team. You know how jealous I was? Like, anyway, 175, you like, it feels like just a couple, you just got to have that score. Luke Jackson as well. He smacked it this week. So you feel like you're just waiting for a big score to happen. And if it's a unique one as well, you're going to be laughing. You'll have a great rank the following week. So when do you think that you would care about rankings? probably week 7,
Round
week
5.
round 5.
Round
Jeez,
5.
time's ticking. Time's ticking. We're 30K.
Well, yeah,
30K, mate.
a lot can change. Well,
I
let's put
know,
this
I
into
know, I know.
here's some perspective. So 4,117 is my score for 30K. Let's put some perspective into this and go classic. Yeah, I'll share my screen while I'm doing this so everyone can see. Share screen. SuperCoach. A little bit of perspective. Rankings. The top rank is 4,593. So you just basically just need one massive score, like just one pod, really, and you would
Yep.
be what into the. Let's go down to 1,000. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep it going.
Yeah,
Here we
it
go.
is very
1,000.
close.
So 4,330. 4,357 is the top 1,000. You know what I mean? So you're only 200 points, not even behind.
Before we get on to the mid prices, but I wanted to just because we got the one I wanted to touch on the cherry on top, and I wanted to see who was our highest scorer of the week and what their teams were looking like. I know me and you, we're probably like 8th or 9th ranked
Yeah.
in the whole of because it's not really, we don't play anyone. It's just an open league. It's in the middle there.
Yeah. So this is the One-Eyed Pod Cherry on Top
And-
League and the top score of the week.
And you can still join this too, by the way. So if you want a free gift multi,
So if the multi got up this week, it would have been for, and this is a good team. Like it's actually a great team. Dacos, Sheasel, Hayden Young, Ambrosio, Bont,
Yep.
Butters,
Golden,
Goulden. Like he's got a solid team here.
jealous, and he would have done bad last week because I saw he's ranked near us, right? But Goulden had a stinker. What, round 1? I think he went around.
Yeah.
Oh no, round 0 he had a stinker. Round 1 he had a stinker. I'm pretty sure. When was it?
Round 0.
70. Round 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm licking my lips. He is someone I am targeting because I
I
can't
don't
do
think
his
you're going to be able to
celebration.
get him.
His celebration on the pod or whatever it was.
What's
Did you say his goal
so-
celebration?
No, I didn't see
Golden's-
it. What was it?
Golden's goal celebration. It's bloody weird.
But when I saw him do it, I said, I need to get this bloke in my team. But I did show my girlfriend that celebration. She goes, it'd probably look cooler if Errol did it. So
Sucked in, dickhead.
but
This guy's got Harvey Thomas on his bench.
he looked bloody good last night when I was watching him.
Negative
Although
53 break even.
I reckon he's a small forward. His scores aren't that good. But
Oh no, they
take it
played
107.
lots. Yeah, no, he just played bloody
But
West Coast.
But is he the highest rank? I don't think he was. I think there's someone.
The highest rank in our One-Eyed Pod League right now is Brownlow Walsh.
Oh right. He
overall-
won the last one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't he win
overall
last
rank
week?
He won last week,
Yeah.
9,962. So at the end of the whole year, we'll do a prize for the highest ranked person.
Where's he getting this
So-
money from?
Well, it won't be a high cash prize, but it'll be something good. It'll be something fun. Maybe you'll get something cheeky out of the boys. Who knows?
He's got Nas. You've sold me, mate. He's got Nas.
Wanganeen
Nas.
Miller in the back line. Did he trade him in
Fraser-
this week? Maybe.
Fraser, if you want to message me on Twitter through the One-Eyed Pod to just sell me Nas, please do. At Fraser.
Fraser, we're
At
talking to you
Fraser.
exactly. It's you, Fraser. Brownlow Walsh. Message us on the One-Eyed Pod on Twitter. It's where we can chat.
we'll
Sell
call out
Crooksy
Fraser.
Wanganeen.
You don't need me to be sold. I just want to be fully sold.
So,
Take it
who-
to the
let's
bank.
see. Second, Okay, second. You get Salem in the back line. Dawson. Oh, fuck, that's a rough pick.
Ooh. How is his rank so
Anderson.
high?
Well, it's
Probably
just
some.
this week. Just this week.
I mean, say that's a pod mid. I don't
It's a
think I would have
massive
gone
pod mid.
Salem. I wouldn't have gone Salem though.
I don't think I would have gone Salem. But I mean, each
Yeah,
their own. Probably prove us wrong, hey.
I mean
Probably not.
we can get on to the. What did you say? Sorry.
I said probably prove us wrong, and then I was like, probably not.
I wouldn't trust us.
Have a look. Big Rib, top 4. Let's have a look at his team.
This is
Big Rib, this is my
Michael's
old
dad.
man. Yeah, this is the old man. Let's have a look at him. You got Tommy
Boy.
Stewart in the back line, Nick Dacos, Sheasel, Buterick. He's probably going to trade him out this week, surely. Hoare, Reed, Caulfield. Oh, that's rough with the Caulfield on bench.
And
Bontempelli.
Reed and Hall.
So he's got a pretty solid team. I mean, he could probably get a trade out Bonner here.
I'd keep Bonner. If anyone actually has Bonner, I'd keep him. I'd be inclined to keep because he had a heap of clangers.
Yeah.
I feel like you can wait one more week, and he was taking 4 kick-ins as well. I feel like the role's there. It's just a starting pick. So,
Yeah.
Big Rob, if you're listening, please keep him in, man. Because I love.
He's
Bonner.
gone wine as well. So
Yep.
I had an argument with him, not an argument, but a disagreement. I said he should have traded in Sarong this week, but he
Who
said
did he
no.
trade in?
Rao. He goes, no, I love Rao.
Oh my god!
I'm putting in Rao, and I put in Sarong. He's like, I'm putting in Rao, but he's still got like 120k in the bank at the moment, so he's flying right now.
I'd be getting off wines, Rob. Just bloody get a big killer in.
Yeah,
just get a killer in. Oh no! Firstly, you get rid of Buterick if you're doing it.
Yeah, get rid of Buterick. I need to do something back here. Maybe get him Massimo for Buterick. That's an easy swap.
I mean, the Wines pick, we touched on it briefly in my team, but I don't know what his time and ground was like, but he had Ken Hinckley's done the promised land and said he's going to be playing more mid-time. He had, with Jason Horn-Francis out, I'm pretty sure he had 64 or 66% CBAs. And this bloke is the biggest unit in the whole team or in the AFL.
Fridge. He's a fridge. So
you expect a fridge to play wing like last year? He's underperforming. Do you have any other underperforming mid prices that you want to give a shout out and think that you got to move on?
Yeah, underperforming mid price, and I just don't know if this guy is SuperCoach relevant. It's actually funny you said that. I had it already. Nick Martin. I'm unsure if I'm going to keep him this year. He's definitely not a keeper. I don't think he got what. 30. How many disposals did he get on the weekend?
28 or something. And most of them were handballs.
No. Here we go.
What did he get?
31.
31. Mostly handballs.
30. Yeah, 31. No, he got 20 kicks, mate. 20 kicks, 11 handballs. This guy is just doing these dinky little kicks and getting like kick. bulk possessions, but it's just not translating into anything beneficial for SuperCoach. Like maybe for a dream team, fantasy, it's going to be he's going to be a good player.
Don't comment
What's
on
that?
fantasy. Don't comment.
No,
on fantasy.
But what I'm saying, like he's like a Will Day, like not Will Day, but he's just not like this is pretty good. You know what I mean? This is a great heat map. I like it.
My point. Oh mate, it's a great heat map, and I think if you got him, you can wait one more week because there's injuries within Essendon, so you can take that punt. But saying that he got 20 kicks, I reckon 6 or 7 of them would have been kick-ins. And I just don't feel like he was. I don't feel like I would love to see the kick-in count. I'll look it up, but I don't think he was confident. Right for you. He wasn't as confident kicking it because the last week he kicked it and he was an absolute butcher, mate. He was a butcher. And the same thing, he was kicking to 2-on-1s, but like, what are you actually expecting from this guy? Is he going to be 100 average, or is he just going to be
Yes.
95?
So
You
he gets
know,
6 kick-ins.
6.
Played on all of them.
Yeah, which is good. You know, I mean that it's the role. If you had to choose Wines or Martin, I'd probably lean towards keeping Martin just because I just love halfbacks and how easy they can. You know, look at McKercher and all of them. If they got kick-ins, it's a good role, super
Mhm.
coach wise. But I just don't think he is confident in his kicking. So, and McGrath, I was watching that game. Andrew McGrath hates him. Andrew McGrath hates him. He would just seriously. Nick Martin could have had 40 that game or 45 touches, and McGrath would just go, "Nah, I'm not passing you because we just know what's going to happen, Nick."
Really?
Like, oh, every
So
time I
it's
looked,
just
every time I was watching the game, I feel like McGrath could have progressed the ball one other way or the other, like, you know, to just sort of change the shape of like the footy ground and, you know, get past to the defense. And
they're just kinda not
McGrath,
using him.
but McGrath was actually really good though. Like
Hmm.
I'm surprised he's injured because I didn't think he was injured, but I must have just missed it. But he was taking kick-ins as well, I'm pretty sure, and because he's really fast and that, he would just like blitz through them and use other people. So
Mm.
that's Nick's role as well. So and then, you know, some player he would just be like, "No, I'm doing what you're doing." But
Yeah, it's
I
just
just
like, "I'm
felt
doing
like
what you're doing, but can do it better," type of thing.
better.
Mm.
But Nick Martin as well, like I think you can 96. What did he score? 96. I'm pretty sure. I think that's a reasonable score.
Yeah.
Like, but not really.
But
You'd
he
want a
had
120.
96 time on ground. He's had
Yeah,
31
yeah.
disposals,
Never on the
20
bench.
kicks.
Never on the
Um,
bench. That's
it's
positive.
not a good score, Crooks. For
Yeah.
31 disposals, 96% time on ground, 6 kick-ins. Was it 6 kick-ins? Yeah, 6 kick-ins. I don't think that's a reasonable score.
Well,
Like let's put it a little
yeah.
bit of perspective here on similar stat lines, different roles, completely different roles. But well, Luke Ryan, for
Well,
example,
he had a lot of clangers too. He had
did
a
he?
lot of clangers. Nick Martin.
Where
Well, I
77%
remember.
disposal efficiency. That's not
I
bad. That's
think
good.
I think when he did a toe poke, and that was like a
Mm,
-5.
mm,
And there was a few kicks where, but that's just like everything. We watched Bont, and he had 9 clangers, but he scored 130.
mm.
So you can't compare them. I just feel like he's not confident enough. Like I'm personally probably getting off the pick this week. Just cut my losses and get a killer. But
I think I'm getting off him next week.
yeah, and
Like you
I
probably
think
guys have already seen in the video before we've spoken about
yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah. But oh, I mean, if you had to keep one and you had Wines, Martin, and Young in the team, or if you had a Holmes as well, because he's another underperformer that was
Mm,
like pretty shit role wise, and he's around the similar price. You have to cull a couple of them because I feel like the strategy is guns and rookies, and you can get that lower price, sort of like Massimo. If you haven't got him, he's
mm,
easy Nick Martin, or can go for that go in that trade, and you can upgrade your team elsewhere and get maybe a Will Powell in, Tom Powell in. Maybe that's the play to just sort of. The play last week was to get rid of Martin and keep Fisher. Probably that's all I'm saying.
yeah, that was probably exactly what you should have done.
Um,
Because I kind
but
of wish I had Fisher in my team still.
oh yeah, I was watching him. Oh god, I was watching him last week, and he's bloody good smile, and he's smiling. Did you see him smile when he kicked it from 52 or 55, and it was touched on
Yeah.
the? And he's just smiling, just going, those
Yeah,
owners,
I said,
they're gonna be
yeah.
devastated.
He literally,
They
do you reckon that footy players like know that when they're in super, like if people are in SuperCoach and everyone's getting off you this week, they're like, fuck this guy, like we're getting off him. And then they just purposely turn up.
Yeah, well, that is Zach Fisher, and I'm waiting for Hayden Young to do that next week to all of us.
Yeah.
But it was a bit. In hindsight, I wish we just kept Fisher because he's actually a good kick, Fisher. Like
Yeah.
Nick Martin just doesn't. He just sort of he's more progressive. Where Fisher will kick it, and um, oh well, I actually thought to myself, uh, he may come into my team later down the track, Fisher, if possible. I don't want to break that relationship fully, but
Yeah.
Holmes as well, rough start. Amon as well, rough start. I just feel like a lot of these mid prices have underperformed, and we thought that was the strategy this year. So, do you agree?
Yeah, I feel like the only mid pricer who's kind of performed was Crouch.
Or Yo?
Oh, Yo. Yeah, Crouch and
Or
Yo.
Yo?
Sorry. They're the only notable people I can think of off the top of my head. If something may be escaping me, but is
Yeah.
Heaney a mid pricer? You would call him?
Well, Heaney was 483, I think. I'm
So
just
yeah,
getting it up. Yeah. So he was, but he wasn't real. I guess that it. Well, they're all in the same bracket. Yeah. So you're totally right. So
yeah.
Heaney did well. And
Give us
Flanders
one
was
sec.
with. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really it for the mid prices. I think the rookies, the rookies coming in this week are just absolutely bonkers. It's not funny. I mean, we've got
Mm,
so many to choose from. Um, you've got defenders. Defenders a bit slim, so you got Pink, and then I think the only really other one is Massimo if you haven't got him on him early.
mm,
But the midfield rookies are you've got your Sharp, you got your Carroll, um, Harvey Thomas. If you really want to go there, I think he's forward mid eligible. I think you could get all these big guns in and have sort of a stable sort of scoring base because you look at Sanders and Roberts, they scored 90. I'm pretty sure both of them. McKercher scored
yeah,
90. I don't. Lions is there. We're looking at Lions. I don't think you go there because he's 280k.
yeah.
Oh,
Negative 41
$250,
break
sorry,
even.
250. Yeah.
250.
So the other mid pricer that is coming on pretty hot at the moment is Will Powell.
Yeah.
And that's another risk you got to take. I keep calling him Will. It's Tom Powell.
Tom Powell.
Negative 47. He's looked great to be fair.
This is 526 teams he's in.
Oh, he'll be 5k in a couple of weeks if he has a good score in him. The issue is like he's got good junior numbers. Last year I don't think he kicked on at all. I think I had him in my team last year. But with Taron Thomas out, it feels like, well, I owned Taron Thomas last year, so I feel like, they've split the roles a little bit more and Lazaro's come in and maybe Powell's, taken advantage of that sort of open slot. But
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's had he's second to LDU in the CBAs,
Yeah.
which is pretty good for 300k. It just feels like a bargain, but I just want to go back to think isn't a rookie more value than a cheaper rookie? I mean, so your Sharps or your Carrolls or your Dempseys, aren't
Yeah.
they better value? But I'm looking here. Does that say he's 93?
He got more CBAs than
Oh
anyone last
God!
week. He
Oh,
had the most
forget what I
CBAs.
said. Forget what I said. Just get him in.
Hmm.
Get him in. That is
He got
crazy.
the most CBAs, more than LDU.
What are your thoughts on him? Because I've definitely toyed with getting him in, but it means that I can't get that big gun in, which I think buys. I said it earlier that is the most important sort of thing you need is good scorers. Where he's actually not. He's actually getting 100. He got 130 last week. I'm pretty sure.
Nah, he didn't. Not last week. He got. I can show you. Last
No,
week he
sorry, this
got.
week.
Oh
The
yeah, this
week
week he
past.
did.
The week past.
Yeah,
I meant, yeah.
the week
He
past.
got
Yeah,
a
130.
he got 95 though. That and the forwards are they're shit. Let's be honest. They are terrible.
Mm.
So he could be a keeper at 300k. But yeah, quick thoughts on him.
Just I'm really thinking about it now. I'm looking at my trades. All right.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do this. I don't know who I'm going to put him in for. I just traded in Billings. I'm not going to trade Billings out.
Yeah, and that was the play, wasn't it? Wait 1 week. Don't get Billings. Maybe get
And get
Berry
Powell.
and get Powell instead.
I don't know who he's coming in for. I could get him out for Lazaro, but that would be taking money away from my Flanders pick for next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's it. And it's guns and rookies, so you can afford those higher value players because he's just that 300k is an awkward price. The only thing is, they'll probably earn 150k. They're sort of money making their way. It's just a bigger risk, but
yeah. If you
I don't mind it.
if you can easily get him in and you weren't stupid like us and just boosted, but we weren't stupid like we needed to. But if you can get him in, I reckon it's such a great option. I don't hate the Powell and Pink option this week. Like if you still have Gibkiss, I don't hate going like Powell, Pink, and fucking Massimo or something like that. Like that doesn't even sound bad to me because I think
Yeah,
around this
good.
price,
It looked good, Pink. It looked good.
yeah, around this price range, it's so there's no one really. Like if you think about it, everyone's got James Jordan. Let's be honest, everyone's got him. What's he in? 57% of teams. Billings, you can skip this guy. Don't get him if you don't have him. Skip him.
Let's just touch on Billings. I don't think we even touched on him in our previous video.
Mm.
I thought he was very mediocre, but he was getting stuffed around. Like he was the first person to receive the ball on the other end, and then he just got skipped. But he's 244k. I think he's going to make his money. And it's the pick's fine. We actually made the right call. It's just frustrating when you see a other person that you traded out for 100 and something, which I think Fisher could probably just average 100, which is a scary sort of proposition.
And I see a world where I trade Fisher back in like a couple of rounds.
Mate, I'm calling it now. We probably will get him back in, but then he's got hamstring tightness, and I saw him. I'm pretty sure someone said in Discord he was eating a pineapple before the game, so maybe his hamstrings are tight or something like that. So let's not read too much into it.
Don't want to read too much into it.
It's good for hamstring tightness, apparently. So
yeah,
maybe his hammies are gonna split in half.
I kind of hope so.
So do I. But we wouldn't wish an injury on any player. But
No.
the next topic as well. I think just if you can get the midfielders up, and this is the whole thing. This is just the way I'm thinking, and I'm sure you are. Just the insane. Just go 3-round average, I reckon, or total points are fine as well. It's still the same.
There you go.
Patrick Cripps is averaging 135.
He's played 2 games.
Ooh. That's crazy thinking. I mean, the big one is
he
Sarong
went 84
and Butters.
and a 135. Yeah, you can't play too much into these.
I mean, no, but I think that I think most of these three, I think they could go top 6, easily. Sarong looks like he's hit another level. Butters is just Butters. He's going for the Brownlow because he's pissed off. Tom Green is going for the Brownlow too, and he is just an absolute unit. And the other one we're forgetting about is, well, you got Bont, you got Trucko, who got 146, but the other one as well is Zach Merritt. So if you went the rookies, you'd be able to squeeze a few. You might be able to squeeze another mid in. But when are these boys when are they gonna actually drop? That's my question. I mean, Errol's gonna drop.
Do you reckon Sarong's coming back down to earth?
I think it'll be until round 10 until he comes back to earth. Yeah. I mean, he will. He will eventually. Everyone's going to have a bad game, but they may have
So
just
if you
come
want to
back to
get on the
600K.
Sarong train, if you want to get on the Sarong train, it's now or never. Hey,
Well, yeah, and I'm skipping. I've got to make the choice: Sarong or Butters. I'm just going Butters because I just love Butters. Like, and I didn't own him last year. He killed me when he was 570K or something. So you're going to find these good players like Clary that drops down, but I think it's wise to get one of them in their team before they skyrocket.
you know,
Like,
I love this, but this year I have a strategy, and I'll tell you my strategy now, and it's pretty simple, and it was just taking advantage of value when it presents itself. And I don't think like okay, Caleb's wrong is value that is presenting itself, and but what I found with looking at like past winners and past high scorers is they always are taking advantage of players who are going to be do score really well, but aren't probably at their price at the moment and are a bit lower. Um, that's why I've been really looking into the picks, like the Took Miller picks. Your another person, Jack Steele
Crouch.
was around that. Crouch, Flanders, like
Yeah.
these are all players. Noah Anderson, these are all players who I feel like um, are quite underpriced, and to take advantage of those picks now, like to get a good team, you don't need to have all the best players. Like eventually you can refine your team and get the best players. But in my head and my strategy for this year was like, if I can just get good players from the start, then just take advantage of value and be happy with the picks that I was settled
Yeah.
on at the start.
Well, I only started with 2 gun mids, but I made like I feel like you should have probably you've got 3 in your team right now with
Mm,
Butters, Bont, and I've forgotten the other Green,
green.
obviously. Yeah,
Mm,
so I feel like three's the play. I reckon you could the top 3 at the moment if they're because it's now or never with those 3.
mm.
I'll be tempted to what you think. I mean, it's pretty easy. I'm just a Zach Merritt lover. But would you go Merritt over those Butters or Sarong as a
No.
pod? Yeah,
Well,
he has been
they're
great.
just cheaper.
Um,
It's just I like
yeah,
my if we're going off what I just said, I don't care
yeah,
about
they're
if
going to
they're in a
decline
lot of
in price.
teams. I'm just talking
Yeah,
about just getting value at a higher price. Like I honestly don't care that he's in 14% of teams or if he's in that.
yeah,
He's cheaper and he's scoring more. Why would you want Zach Merritt over the Caleb Strong?
yeah. Uh,
Just that player of
um,
different. Unless you think that Zach Merritt is underpriced at 650K.
exactly, and he's not. That's the point. I guess sometimes 10K doesn't make a difference. It just
Mm.
depends how. And he, Zach Merritt, will probably cop a tag from Windhager or just a slight one next week anyway. So it's just an idea. It's just more, he's performing great. Most of these top 6 mids or top 8 mids have all not dropped, but the only one that has dropped is Dawson, where he's
Oh
peppering
yeah,
90s. Um,
yeah.
and he's just been really unlucky, man. Like,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure he had plus 25 disposals last week, and he just had a few clangers in there. And Crouch and um, Crouch and Laird were feeding him the bowl the whole time. If you had Dawson, would you get rid of Dawson?
If I was gonna get rid of him, I'd get rid of him now.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's oh that's the wrong Dawson.
I don't think. Or I think you could. It just seems very sideways for someone that the price is a big factor. 650 will probably drop down a fair bit. Um, I wouldn't be able to guess what price he would drop at, but you'd assume it's 590 range.
Yeah.
But
So
12
what did he go
tackles,
last week? Yeah, 12
62%
tackles.
and 58. 2 games he's had below 65% defense disposal efficiency.
So you'd probably
But
hold, hey.
I think so. But well, people are trying to trade out Dacos at the moment because his price is going to drop that much.
Hmm.
So I see it if you want to make some money, but I feel like you want him back eventually. I think he's definitely a target of mine. Although as soon as Crouch came in, I was a bit skeptical, and that's why I never picked Dawson, because I was like, well, Crouch is in and under. It just feels like one's going to lose out, and it hasn't looked like Laird has lost out yet. But
No.
I think his
Well, he
mid time's
scored
down.
60 points in one quarter. He was down and then he just went off in one quarter. Hey?
Laird,
Yeah, Laird.
yeah, and Laird's playing more. I think he's playing more forward. I think I've read something, but I think his CBAs have gone down. That's what's happened to Laird. But we'll just look at it. Laird's still stock standard. Laird though.
Yeah, so he's got 75% CBAs. Last week was 53% CBAs. So it's
that's
really
concerning.
dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't want to
But he
believe.
still scored a 124. Hey,
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
What's his heat map say if we go on to him?
So this is the 124 with no CBAs, about 50% CBAs. And then this is with 75%.
So it's a little bit more
CBAs.
forward.
Yeah. And then this one's with 75, like clear,
Yeah.
more middle game.
Well, we can jump onto Dacos now. I know you're always biased and say never trade him out, but he has got Hawthorn coming out, which is a possible tag, and he's priced at the same exact point as Dawson, 650 from memory.
Mm-hmm.
I think the same goes for him, that because of his buy. I'm sorry, not because of his buy, because of his price, you don't want to get rid of him. But I see the point of maybe trading him out to like cash in 100K, because he might drop to maybe 550K, if that, and then you capitalize on a premo when Collingwood have their buy. But I feel like he's just the player that you want to trade in again. Do you agree?
I agree.
And he didn't. Collingwood is shit at the moment, so
yeah, I got him because I was like, I don't want to have to try get him throughout the season. That's why I got Bonds as well. I don't want to have to think in the back of my mind, shit, I fucking at some point I need to trade in Dacos. I just wanted to be like, oh, there's value, I'll get it then. There's that, I can get that there. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you've got Dacos and you want to trade him out and there's a massive play presents itself, then bloody go for it. But if you can see value in other places or better score in other places, then I don't see why you should be wasting trades trying to get rid of a potential Brownlow medalist who is going to come back and play some outstanding footy.
I guess we can move on. Just hot starting defenders. I think there was one obvious one that you're bringing in, who I think if you have the choice, I'm telling you right now, just bring him in because his break even's so low. But it's Luke Ryan. You're in mids, I think. Yeah.
So do you want me to do a little spiel on Luke Ryan?
You can sell us Luke, even though I like him more than you and you know it.
Yeah. Luke, so his role is fucking I've never seen such a good role in my life. This guy is just pisses out points. He scored a 165 last week. If we go to DFS, in a second. So last year, and this is credit to Abs as well, because I kind of want to watch this video. His video on it, I saw this and I was like, fuck, that's actually some good insight there, Abs. So last week, so his role has gone from primarily into the back 50. His role has gone, so this is the last year, 2023, primarily in a D50. Doesn't really go out of the D50. Now, this is this year. and we can see that he's moving up the ground and literally going everywhere, doing everything. And then this is when he scored 167. If we go to this week, we can see that he's moving up the ground as well. How terrible does this heat map look right now? This bloke, even though this heat map looks like this, he still punches out a 127. And you want to know why he punches out a 127? Say less. Just hold on. I'll show you why. He is taking all the kick-ins, basically. Only 2 kick-ins he didn't take. He's just pissing out points. They could get absolutely flogged or absolutely smash a team, and he's still going to get plus 100 every game. I don't think his role changes. They've shown that they would rather bring in rookies and debut people than him lose his role this year. I think it's a great, if you can afford it at the moment, I think it's a great option to bring him in. What do you reckon, Crooks?
And I think he's terrific, and I've loved him for a while. I mean, I don't know how good he actually is as a footballer, but he just SuperCoach wise just takes the piss out of it. But I've noticed that he's a good mark. He's a good mark, so he gets a lot of intercepts. He actually played really well last week against North, but the most important thing is what you just said. He's got a monopoly on kick-ins. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's always, this is why, you have to sort of give a second thought on fading Martin, is because, he'll get some kick-ins and he'll get those cheap points. But if you were to trade Martin to maybe Ryan, I think that's, you're going to be, I think there's a case to say that maybe Luke Ryan is D1.
Yeah.
Is that silly to say?
I think it's a little bit silly because we can't forget that Tom Stewart's
Well, you got
there
Dacos.
as well. And Dacos.
So if
Tom
you
Stewart
had a choice,
and Dacos have a great case.
I had a choice of, I'm pretty sure I have this choice now to either get in a Luke Ryan or a Tom Stewart, who we were going to elaborate on, so you can just go on to him as well. Tom Stewart had one of the best games of his life from Twitter and everything like that, saying how incredible he was, and he was so underscored. I think he scored a 136.
Yeah, took heaps of got the record for intercept.
Yeah,
for
so completely
marks.
underscored, underscored. And his role hasn't been diminished from Holmes, even though Holmes is more of a winger now. I thought he was helping around halfback, so the situation's still the same. But I feel like you'd pick Luke Ryan over Stewart. What do you think?
The only reason I'm picking Luke Ryan over Stewart at the moment, and I'm about to double check our reasoning, is because he's splitting the kick-ins, literally. He has half the amount. Let me share this stuff. Half the amount of kick-ins that Luke Ryan has, just because he's splitting them with Zach Tui, or he just split last game. He was splitting them with more people. Luke Ryan, I don't know if the role is going to change, but they just want him taking the ball in at every single opportunity.
Yep.
And I bet you the only times that
No. Well, the main thing is that Luke Ryan, it's now or never with Luke Ryan, because you won't be able to afford him. You won't be able to afford him at all. He's got a 6'11". Maybe next
Tom
week
Stewart has down games. Tom Stewart has massive down games, but he also has very high ceilings as well.
You probably won't get Stewart cheaper than $590, but I just can't. Well, even 600 around there. But Luke Ryan is at
last
6'11".
Year he was. Look at this last year. So if we go share this tab, so if we take last year's data as anything, and go 2023. So his price, look at this, throughout the whole year, basically he sat around the 600K mark. He has these big games, but he also drops down. So I think if you want to get Tom Stewart in, he's just 600k. You know, he's not a long way away at any point. He obviously
Yeah,
can
we're
go and go high, but he also has down games where he will come back down to everyone.
when Ryan, on the other hand, there's a chance where he's unattainable. He'd
Yeah,
be
there
my
is
pick of the
with
week
that
for
role
sure.
that he has right now. Yeah, with that role he's got right
Yeah.
now, he could be unobtainable for the whole season if he just keeps taking 8 kick-ins per game. Like, what else does he need to do? 8 like 100% efficiency kicks.
I think he has got a bad injury record, but that hasn't happened 2 or 3 years now. I think it might have been 2 or 3 years. I remember he always used to pin calves or hammies or soft tissues, but he's played
Yeah.
every game for the last 2 years, so I think that's completely voided. If you were trying to make that decision, just a couple more things, I guess. We've already spoken about the forward line being slim and who to target. So I think, Powell is definitely one to factor in, which is fine. The next one is just ranking the rookies. So I think Pink is obviously number one because that's all we have. But I would have thought maybe we could try and rank the mid rookies. So Carroll, Clark, and Thomas.
Should we just
Oh, sorry,
rank
Dan Brezio's
rookies
still there.
as a who is the main rookies that you should be have to get in your team type of thing?
Yeah, so 1 to 5, I think looking at what the screen is right now, but I think Massimo is probably number 1 for me. Number
Yeah.
2 is
Yeah, I
probably
think so.
Carroll. Number 2 is Carroll.
Yeah.
3 is
Can we talk about that? I think that Carroll
yeah.
is there because of his role only.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well,
When I think
he'll
Oliver Dempsey's a
smash
better
out
player.
70s. I'm still torn, to be honest. I wouldn't be angry if someone, you know, how they're looking 2 or 3 or 2, they'll probably still make the same amount of cash. It's
Yeah,
just
you're right.
dependent if on your team. But
Well, they probably
I
won't
mean,
make the same amount of cash. Carroll's making more cash. You know, he's 123k.
yeah, but Dempsey will probably play more over the season. But you got to
Yeah,
factor in
true.
when he regresses in price as well.
Mhm.
So we had those top 3. I mean, if you haven't, we're making it out that if you haven't got McKercher or Sanders, they have to be top of your list. I don't think you can miss McKercher. I don't think you can miss Sanders.
As well as Matt
Because
Roberts.
exactly those 3. I
Yeah.
think Matt Roberts has already risen in price, but if you haven't got him, you need him as well.
I think they're on-field options.
Oh, easy. Yeah. I totally agree there. I think the next one would probably be Jeremy Sharp. So it's pretty easy in a way to sort of identify. Maybe there's only 5 or 6 rookies, but we've all sort of got them, but you've probably just missed 1 or 2 along the way to fill your teams in. I think Jeremy Sharp's all right, but I was thinking, I watched the game yesterday. What is Buku Karmas priced at? Buku Karmas? Buku?
There he is. 123k. He's got a negative 46 break even.
I would put him in. I would chuck him in the top 5.
Yeah. He scored a 51 and a 65.
I'd put him ahead of Pink, if I'm being honest. Yeah. But that
is it a forward line though? And there's a lot of options in that forward line, which is
that's
tough.
exactly it. And especially when most of them are forward mids as well. Harvey Thomas is being spoken about. We've already sort of quickly touched on him. I think there's just better options.
Yeah.
I thought just lastly we can do our captains and vice captains.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. I actually forgot all about that.
Because I think we've forgotten it a couple of times.
Yeah. So this week, I think, let's have a look. Can you see my am I in the right one?
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Am I blocking anything? No. Sweet. So
no.
What are you thinking? Hit us.
Well, I haven't. I wanted. I think Nick will bounce back, but I feel like it's just a safe pick. And Brisbane, I haven't looked at Brisbane's previous scores, so I should have probably put more research into it. They're ranked
151 last time
17
we
and
played
9.
Brisbane
Yeah,
at the
and I
Gabba.
really do. I do like factoring in. I probably needs more data, but what Supercoach Gold sort of says, it gives you what their sort of rankings are. I think I might just pass on it just because it's Nick.
It's just here. If you can read it, I don't really know
Yeah,
how to read this
yeah,
stuff.
17. Well, the defense means 17th ranked, so that's the poorest out of the lot. And ninth means it's ninth best. I think Neil coming back in, it may be a bit more of a struggle. But if you back out of your screen, I think there was an easy VC. Well, I don't have him though, but I think you'd VC Luke Ryan against Adelaide just for the way
At
he's
Optus.
going. Isn't that a? And he loves Optus. He loves Optus.
That's
Can
such
I
a
say it
great
again? He
play.
loves Optus,
He loves Optus. All right, twist my
and
arm.
that's the wrong as well. I mean, if
Mm.
you had Harry Mackay, I'd go VC as well. We haven't talked about
Mm-hmm.
Harry Mackay yet. 330k, just he'll kick 8 against North. He will
Yeah,
kick an 8.
that's
But yeah,
a
Luke
great
Ryan's
point.
wrong.
Yeah. What do you think of like a LDU or anything, or like a maybe rolling the dice on like a POW at Marvel against Carlton? Don't want to go there.
Oh, forget.
I'm just
I
asking
think
you
nobody
questions.
would.
I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Just
if
making
you
conversation.
if you had big balls, you mate. If I would be gobsmacked if he's not even in 900 teams. Who the hell is
Oh,
that guy?
yeah, fair call. I'll retract my
No.
statement.
Well,
But I think
no. I
Sarong could
think
be good.
LDU could be an easy VC, but you'd prefer the Freo boys. They're in good form at the moment, and they're scoring the piss out of it. So you could go there. I don't mind a steal against Essendon. He's been all right, but he hasn't shown to be he hasn't gone over 130 yet. So I guess that removes the VC. I think, but maybe you could just go Bont VC and there's no real so Bont could be
What
your captain.
about Butters at the at
Butters into
Adelaide
Bont.
Oval into
Butters
Bont?
into Bont. I think that's the play.
I think that's
But
the
you could
play.
get cheeky
What was
with
the
it.
last Butters scored
Yeah.
last time against them?
He scored 181, I'm pretty sure.
184.
I
Oh
remember
my
watching that
God.
game. I think it was in the wet. I
Yeah.
remember it messaging you. And if you just quickly, I know it doesn't matter, but just quickly look at his price when he did that. You just need to click back on him. I could have sworn he was 530k.
No, he was 620.
So he got 516. So he was
The
when he
week
scored
before he was
140.
564. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 496k getting Butters at that price. It'll happen this year and we'll jump on it. We'll choose the wrong guy.
Well, that's what I mean. So that could be Powell right now. We just don't know.
We don't know. But don't get me sucked into Powell. I know I'm gonna regret it. So shut up. Shut up. I think that's really all. I think we can do the cherry on top. If you didn't think of anything else we missed.
Who's your VCC this week? Because we just looked at my team. Who are you going?
I'll probably get Butters. So, or if I get Ryan, I'll put Ryan VC, but C on Bont. I think West Coast. I don't like captaining Sunday players, but I find that the most of the good games now, and because West Coast obviously are on Sunday, I'll probably be captaining a lot on Sunday just because West Coast are just terrible.
It's strange though. Like Bont could, after a rough game last week, if they're pumping them, could very easily just get rested.
Well, we didn't really speak about it, but I had him see last week, but he got injured a fair. He had a few knocks. One was his knee, and then two tackled him, and he was really worse for her. And he looked slower, but Bont Bont at the end of the day. But you could even go a Libba C if you were ballsy enough, but I don't think you'd ever do that.
Oh, Libba C would be
What a,
disgusting.
actually,
Or English
I
C.
thought a ridiculous. Oh, English C, easy because I'm only thinking my players. If you have English, easy C. But I did think of the biggest pod C you'll ever see. Heaney versus Richmond.
That's a massive call as well. Heaney versus Richmond C. Oh, that's a big pod C. He's going to go nuts. What's he going to get to? He'll get up to about 600. No, he's
a keeper.
Yeah.
What's his highest score? 150? So don't be stupid, Will. You've got Bont there, just sitting there.
144, 136, 128.
Yeah, sorry. I was just looking.
He doesn't have those
at the bottom
games. We want those ceiling games.
He's scored 144 against Richmond before. And 144, you'd be happy with. Now you're not calling a ceiling game all those numbers that you
No, we're talking ceiling games are 150 plus, I reckon.
I'd include 144 in there. It's a bit hard to do.
That's what I'm saying.
You want your players going 130 plus.
But you're going for these. But a VC, sorry. You want a safe captain. You want a ceiling like 150 plus punt for a VC.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, if I'm down on a matchup, I know where I'm going. I'm going Heaney.
Get me back in there.
He could do
well,
it.
I'm versing Nathan this week, so I gotta don't
Hopefully
tell him what we're gonna do. Oh no, shit the bed. We can't tell him what we're gonna do.
It's our secret plan.
He's probably gonna get Luke Ryan in now. Watch him.
Yeah. Oh god. Don't worry. He only tunes in for 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, he just tunes out.
The cherry for the week.
Yeah, run us through it. You got it.
I'm happy to.
Let's lower the odds a little bit this time. We're gonna take a little bit of intermission. Cooks is gonna find the odds, but I'll talk real quick. This week's cherry of the week is going to be a little bit lower, so the prize money will not be like in the hundreds. It's going to be a little bit lower, so it's a bit better chance that the top scorer wins. So yeah, so this week you're probably in for a good shot to win the cherry of the week, but it's going to be a little bit lower. But I guess you take that. So this week's cherry on top is, and for anyone who doesn't know, the cherry on top is we have a league, the One-Eyed Pod League, and it's just an open SuperCoach league. If you get the top scorer for that week, then at the start of the week, we'll put a multi on. And if the multi gets up, then you get all the prize money for the multi of the week. We are going to start making the multis more reasonable so you can get the money, but it's going to be a little bit less money. So you're not getting hundreds of dollars anymore. It's going to be a little bit less money, but we're going to start hitting them a bit more often. So this week's cherry of the week is...
Righto. So we got Josh Dunkley 20, and we've made sure that Collingwood isn't included in any of these. Okay. So we're trying to make it as even as possible. So Dunkley 20, Neil 20, Dacos 20, DeGoey 20, Danaher 2 goals, Dacos 25, and Bobby Hill 2 goals. So that's around $13 odds. We've tried to trim it, but when we tried to trim it fully, it was, the winner would only get back about $30, and we just didn't think that was fair at all. So,
terrible.
You gotta find the middle ground somewhere.
Yeah. So to win the money, all you got to do is get the prize, top score in our league, and then comment on the TikTok video that will go up that you won, and we'll send money into your bank account instantly.
After you prove that you follow us.
Yeah. The code's just right down there. Only fair. All right, lads. If you've got nothing more to add, Crooks.
No. Have a great rest of the week and keep super coaching.
Hey, you know what we forgot to do that we haven't done for a while? Prize chat. We'll leave it.
Yeah, I know. But let's just leave it.
All right, lads. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
See ya.